She's known as America's Super Nanny for going to the homes of parents who need her advice. She started her own child care center and was labeled a force for good by the Washington Post. Please welcome Deborah Tillman. Thank you for being here. You look fabulous.
Thank you so much.
A force for good. Please explain that.
Aren't you embarrassed?
I am.
So, seriously, though,
It
but
is.
anybody
It
who has
is.
watched the show understands that this is true because we're living in a time where parents don't, for whatever reason, kind of don't know how to be parents. We're uncomfortable. We want to be friends with our kids.
Right.
And disciplining. That's a huge topic.
Oh, yes.
And you are an expert, so I will let you speak. Please, how can we discipline our children the right way?
The first thing...
Without the cops getting involved.
Right.
Yes.
Well, back in the day, my mother wouldn't have it. But what parents need to realize is that discipline means to teach. That is the definition of discipline. And so if you're not teaching the child, then they're not going to learn. And so teaching doesn't necessarily mean, you know, things that I see in these homes, you know, get up against the wall, put your arms up. This is where you're going to be 10 years from now. If you, I mean, humiliating techniques, you know, on the floor, turn your back, face the wall, all this kind of stuff. And I tell parents, what lesson is that teaching them? You didn't even tell them what they did wrong. You're just hollering and screaming and barking at them. And when you're angry, then they become angry because they're mimicking how you are.
You mean the parent? When
The
they're
parent,
angry.
when the parent is angry and yelling and screaming, the child really doesn't get it. And so I tell parents, first of all, you got to calm down. You know, you take a 10 and then go deal with your child. So oftentimes I get the throwback of, well, you're a Christian, spare the rod, spoil the child, I'm going to beat them to death. And my thing is that, listen, if you're going to read the Bible, read it in totality. It also says don't provoke your child to anger. You like in his face screaming.
And don't break their spirit.
And don't break their spirit. And that's what I'm finding is happening in a lot of houses where they're talking down to children, where they're not speaking life to children, where they're not building them up and not catching them doing good things. Like the parent, I can have a child that's coloring for 10 minutes and we're talking, you know, the parent and the parent doesn't say a thing. As soon as Johnny gets up and hits his sister, you know, reaction. And I say, don't react, respond, calm down. You can still say the same thing without screaming. And honestly, with children, if you whisper like this, they listen.
They do. So can you just, what is the difference between the responding and what was the second? Reacting. What's the big difference between that? Because some parents right now, they're probably like going out of their mind and don't really understand that concept.
Yeah, they're basically reacting. And so when you react, it's like Johnny will knock over the milk, and because you're frustrated, because you had a busy day, because you had to work and go through traffic for, you know, 10 hours a day, you're just gonna say, Johnny, why did you spill?
Okay.
Everybody's like,
And why did he spill the milk? He didn't
it's
do it on
okay.
purpose.
It really is okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
That
So that's the
let's
reaction.
just wipe up the milk. Look what happened. Okay, let's go get some paper towel. Or how do you think we could clean that up, Johnny?
So having the child think about it and being
what they're gonna
involved
do. You got
and
it.
cleaning up so that way they feel
Exactly.
next time it happens.
Right.
I remember this because my daughter's a 1.5 years old and I found myself sometimes I've lost my temper and then there are times where I say, you know what, let me just talk to her. And even of her pulling on me, I'll say, Mom, can I have 5 minutes? And even though she's 1.5 years, 5 minutes to her is like, oh, whatever.
Right.
But she actually gets it. And so it's so true what you're saying about just, you know, not reacting right away.
And actually,
That's
it
key.
seems like parents, what you're doing when you react like that is you're bringing yourself to the child's level.
Right.
And so when parents act like that, I think it undermines their authority.
Oh, it does.
And so what you're saying is like when you whisper, when you take it, immediately they know, oh, you're the mature parent, which is a big difference.
Right.
I've never heard of that. When you said that discipline is about teaching. I've never thought of this. You know, I'm an English major writer. Discipline and disciple are the same root,
That's it.
but I've never thought of that. Disciple. We're supposed to
Your
disciple.
children. Could you imagine that? That means I'm going to lead you. I'm going to guide you. I'm going to direct you. I'm going to order your steps. You know, if we really do that, children will respond.
And so when children are acting just, you know, they're, do you believe in the terrible twos?
I believe in terrific twos.
Oh,
Speak those things as not as though they were.
wow.
I do.
Terrific twos.
I'm the same
I do
way.
a workshop on it.
My daughter
terrific
is
twos.
15, and people say, "Oh, you know," and I was like, I reject that.
That's right.
Okay, maybe it will be tough, but like, that's what I'm here for.
That's right.
I'm her father. She's got a mother. Like, we're here for that. and to bless her through this tough time.
There you go.
Rather than just saying like, oh, I can't wait till this time is over.
Right.
I mean, I understand the human side of that,
Right.
but also to understand that part of that is okay.
And it's all in a way that your mind goes into it. I was dealing with a parent, several parents that had a child with Down syndrome because my master's is in special education. And so the mom, before she did homework, she dreaded it. And she was always like, oh gosh, we have to do homework. I mean, she would just get herself in a tizzy. And the child, I say, even though he would feel it. So he automatically shut down. He couldn't do it. So when I went into the house, I said, okay, we're gonna take a new approach to homework. Homework is fun. This is these are the steps. Here's the reward. And the kid, oh, you did one, yeah! And when you get excited, when you have enthusiasm, I'm telling you, it's contagious.
But you know what I just saw there, right there, what you just did? For some parents, that's a lot of work.
Oh, yes.
Like, I literally just felt the shift.
It is.
And when a mother who's a single mom, who's tired, who's depressed, who's angry, to just say, yeah, I want to be the coach, when she herself needs that coach,
Right.
that's a lot of work. And I think that's so important. Because I
It
literally
is.
felt the shift when you said, yay! Because if you don't feel like you're being cheered
It's
on,
hard. It's hard to be
it
a parent
really
on
is
purpose,
hard.
which is
Parent
the title
on
of your book. But
purpose.
that is hard,
There
and
you
I
go.
get that.
It's hard, but again, it's not about just making children. It's about raising them.
Raising them.
We have to raise them. We can't just make them. And so therefore, anything that is valuable is gonna take work.
So just do the work.
You have to do the work. You have to do the work. It's not gonna happen by osmosis. I can be here to cheer you on, but you have to have something in you. And that's why I say, you gotta have that Spirit of God in you that says, I'm having a rough day, Lord, but through your strength, I can do this. I can do this.
And
all things are
terrific twos.
terrific too.
Terrific. Isn't that great? You see,
I seriously.
you have that to look forward to.
No, I am. I'm going to share with my family
Unbelievable.
members, and we want you forever.
The phrase terrible
I want you
twos
to
is
go.
right out of hell. Don't ever say that
There
again.
you
Right
go.
out of hell. It's not going to happen again.
Thank you so much
Unbelievable.
for
Thank
being
you,
with
Deborah.
us.
We got to have you
You're
back
welcome.
again. And the book is Parenting
Parenting.
on Purpose. Okay, it should be at our e-store. We'll be back.